What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Bucco's Locker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the new videos that's posted on this channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. How's everybody doing today? I'm talking about, come on in. I need some updates. Let me see. Care about none of that. Yeah, software up to date. So everybody ready? All right. I don't know what's going on here, but we're gonna figure it out. Dang, let's help around here, but anyway. We got to figure this out. Oh, this is the cable. Came on here today to talk about a little something today. Y'all see the title of the video. Bucs on notice, man. Watching the combine. I know I haven't made no videos about it, but it's gonna be the first one right here. But watching it, I didn't watch the combine order, but kind of catching the highlights and stuff like that. It got some players, man. No excuses this time. They got some players. In that front seven, this is it. Michael Jackson. This is it. All I'm saying is they got the hit. The front seven. It's like a no-brainer now, man. The Bucs are in a make or break season. They're gonna have to get it together, man. So who surprised y'all today or in the last couple of days at the combine? Who stood out to y'all? Did anybody stand out to y'all that look good? Did anybody stand out? Did anybody stand out that look good to y'all? I'm watching some of these highlights and these runs and these. I know these guys testing good, but there's a couple of guys the Bucs can get that will be quite beneficial for them immediately. And I'm gonna throw a wild card out there. The running back position. I know we got Bucky Irvin. All I'm saying, one of my sleepers here, Mike Washington Jr. Mike Washington Jr. 6 foot, about 220 pounds, 225, 4'3", big, game-breaking speed. A lot of those runs that Bucky Irvin had, Mike Washington would have took it to the house. All I'm saying is late rounds. I'm not talking about early rounds. Late rounds. If the Bucs can find a way to trade and get him, I don't know. I'm just gonna put it out there. Just gonna put it out there. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying the Bucs need to draft a running back in the first 3, maybe 4 rounds, but maybe they can wheel and deal. Maybe a Chris Godwin or something like that, or Vita trade or something, and get an extra pick in the 3rd, 4th round and get a better running back. Not saying Bucky Irvin's bad. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying a bigger running back with more speed and just as shifty. gonna just leave it like that. But let's get to the some guys tested out real good. Some guys tested out real good. Look, the combines and shirts and shorts competition, who can test out well, but some of that stuff do translate to the league. You know what I'm saying? Like some of that stuff, what you see on tape with some of these guys, you see it at the combine. Like Jeremiah Love, he faster than B. John Robinson, but B. John Robinson ran a 4.3 or ran a 4.46. B. John faster than that. B. John faster than the 4.46 because his tape, his game speed is crazy, you know. Traylon Green, Arkansas quarterback, 6'6", 235, ran a 4.3, 43-inch vert. Like he might have to play tight end or receiver, but we'll see. But I'm just going through some things that I've seen just today. But this draft is deep. It's not top end, but it's a deep draft when it comes to talent, especially in the front seven. I didn't realize that some of these guys in the front seven, boy, if the Bucs miss on some of these guys, look, for you Jason Light fans, you guys been on the hot seat for the last 4 years. You've been defending Jason Light, top 5 GM, top 5 roster. All I'm saying, if he screw this up, y'all need to go wherever he goes at. Go find a team where he's not going to be a GM nowhere else. Who's going to, in my opinion, I don't see no other team saying, yes, we're going to take Jason Light as our GM. So wherever Jason Light ends up at, I hope you go follow him if he don't hit on this draft. That's all I'm going to say on Jason Light right now. Lorenzo Styles. Sonny Styles, the brother combo. Them boys cooking with something over there, man. Their dad is an athletic freak too, but Sonny Styles, man. I don't know how the Bucs gonna get him. Now I know Bucs, some drafts got the Bucs picking a tight end, the Oregon tight end. He tested out really good too. But he's 6'3", 249, 250. Like a Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis is a little bigger. But to me, he's just a big receiver. Kenyon Sadiq, I think he's like a big H-back receiver type guy. I don't know about his blocking. They say he can block good, but no tight ends in the first round. No tight ends in the first round. I don't care about that. I don't care about none of that. So miss me with the tight end stuff. But Sonny Styles, the Bucs gonna have to trade to get him. They have to trade up to get him. Him and Reese, Arvell Reese. They got 6'5", 244, ran a 4.4. I'm sorry, 6 foot, 244 pounds, 250, ran a 4.4. They put his combine numbers up next to Kyle Hamilton. Almost similar size, but you know, Sonny Styles got more weight, but just as big, but faster. But Kyle Hamilton got better instinct. It's not about, here's the funny thing people don't understand. Straightaway speed is straightaway speed. What about the 20-yard shuttle run, the 3-cone? Kyle Hamilton tested out better than Sonny Styles in that department. So that means Kyle Hamilton got better change of direction. So Sonny Styles is a straight line guy, but his cone and his 20-yard shuttle did not match up to Kyle Hamilton's, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep that out there. But he ran very well. The safety from Oregon, Dylan Thyman, 4.37 safety. He's bigger than Tyke Smith. He's bigger than Winfield Jr., I believe. The Bucs got so many players they can pick at 15 and at 45, I believe, in the second round. The first 2 picks should be starters right away. And they can go so many ways with this. They really can. I mean, this is insane, dog. Talent galore in the front 7. Talent galore in the front 7. You can line up whoever the Bucs pick at 15, inside linebacker, outside linebacker. And I think they're going to go somewhere in those 2 in that direction. They did some formal interviews with some top guys. But at 15, they still should be able to get a really good player. At 15. Can't mess this up. You all that safe drafting that Jason Licht be doing, drafting safe and character and all that. Look, you still can get a good character guy, but you got to get a dog and you got to get an impact player. This is it for Todd Bowles and Jason Licht. I don't care what none of y'all say. This is it. Y'all see the title of my video, Make or Break Draft. This is the most important draft for Jason Licht and Todd Bowles. There is no doubt about it. And I don't even understand why it took so long for a lot of Bucs fans to understand how bad Jason Licht has been drafting. He's drafted really bad or average at best. He's drafting solid players, rotational piece players, because he's playing it safe. He's drafting high floor talent. He's not drafting high ceiling talent, which explains why we're stuck in the 8-9, 9-8 purgatory, because he's not drafting high-end talent. He's drafting safe, solid, high-floor players. High-floor players can only get you so far. We have no elite players outside of Tristan Wirfs. That's a problem. We have no up-and-coming elite players. That's a problem. We have no up-and-coming top 5 position player outside of Tristan Wirfs. That's a problem. And nobody said nothing except for Buckles. Like, now all of a sudden, these little radio shows and these little channels want to start talking about Jason Licht, his draft and all that. We over here in the Buckles locker, we've been on that. We've been controversial. We've been hard on Jason Licht in his weak draft classes. And the Bucs are in a bad position, to be honest with you. Even with this draft, they're not bad enough to get a top 10 pick, and they're not good enough to threat for the Super Bowl. They're stuck in the middle. That's the worst place you can be at for a franchise. The worst place you can be at for a franchise going into a draft is a middling team that is not bad and is not great. You're just stuck in middle of purgatory. You're not good enough to make any moves, or you're not good enough to make any traction in the playoffs. You're a one and done team. You might get lucky and get a game, but things got to fall right for you. And then you're not terrible because you got some talent to keep you afloat. But what good does that do you? That's where the Bucs are at. People think the Bucs are really good. They're not. When you look at this roster and you look at what's in this draft class, you got to ask yourself the question when you look at the draft class. They got to come away with 3 starters on defense. They got too many holes to do anything in the playoffs. As of right now, the Bucs are not a playoff team. They're trending in the wrong direction. The momentum is with the Falcons and the Panthers and the Saints. The gap is closed. There is no gap between the Bucs, Panthers, and the Falcons. And the gap between the Bucs and Saints has gotten smaller. The momentum is everywhere else except for the Bucs. Let's break this down. I'm going to tie this in with the draft class. Panthers hired Canales. A couple years later, they won a division, 8-9 record, and they got momentum. They just need a solid draft class. Falcons. Kevin Stefanski, two-time coach of the year, couple bad seasons last couple of years, but he's a proven coach that's pretty good, and they got a talented roster. Their defense is upper echelon, rushing the passer. That's what rushing the passer. They're number 2 in the NFL in rushing passer. They got a CB number 1. They got a top safety tandem. They got a good front 7. They got a CB1, top 15 cornerback, top 10, promising young edge rushers, a good interior D-line. They got a good run blocking O-line. They got an elite running back. They got a really good tight end, pretty good tight end. A good, what I'm saying? They just need to get the quarterback situation fixed. But the roster, the talent is there. It's been there. It's just been coaching in that quarterback situation. Maybe they figured it out. And then you have the Saints, who the last couple of drafts, these guys are producing. Their last draft class produced. And they had multiple starters from the last draft class play this year. Or last year. Last year's draft class played a lot of snaps. Sanker, Tyler Shaw, you know what I'm saying? Then you had Kelvin Banks Jr., the left tackle. Then the year before that, they had Fuaga. So they're getting pieces together. And momentum is there, 7-10. And then you got the Bucs. Draft class, Emeka Egbuka, Jacob Parrish. Last year's draft class before that, the momentum trending down 2-7 in the last 9 games. Going into the offseason, looking at this draft class, you got to ask yourself the question, what can the Bucs have several holes they need to fill? Due to the poor draft classes of Jason Licht, 2021, 2022, he missed some guys in 2023, he missed some guys in 2024 and 2025. Now he got to play catch up again in the front 7. And here's the funny thing. A rookie draft class is just not going to do it for the Bucs. They're going to have to get veterans with this rookie draft class. The crop of new players coming into the Bucs need to be impactful. That means you need about 3 to 4 starters out of the draft class. And you need to get about 2, maybe 3 veteran guys that can start. So in other words, you need about 5 to 6 starters on defense. As crazy as it sounds, well, it don't even sound crazy to me. It might sound crazy to you because you might think the Bucs are still good, but they're not. Which hence why you need about 5 or 6 starters on defense, particularly in the front 7. You have an aging Vita Vea. You have a solid guy in Yaya Diaby. You have no guy opposite of him. Don't give me the David Walker crap. There's guys in this draft better than him. Roberts, don't give me none of that. There's guys better than both of those guys in this draft right now. Your secondary in question. There are better safeties in this draft class. I can promise. I'm telling you. I guarantee you this. You will take Xavier Watts over Winfield Jr. right now. Jonas Sanker, the rookie, last year's rookie Saint safety, you'll take him over. I'm telling you, there's better safeties in this draft class. There's better linebackers in this draft class than Savastia Dennis and Levante David Jr. There's better edge players than Yaya Diaby. There's going to be a better D tackle than Vita Vea in this draft. There's going to be guys just as good or better than Kalijah Clancy. There's going to be guys better than Anthony Nelson. You get where I'm going with this. They don't have no guys that you can say we can't replace him. Name me a guy on defense that you can say they can't replace. Every guy on defense can be replaced. Now, you can't replace all 11 guys on defense, right? But you can replace about 5 or 6 of them, particularly in that front 7. And if you can't replace all 5 and 6, but you can get 3 of them replaced. And the other 2 that's not replacing the starters, they're getting a lot of reps. You can have somebody sharing reps with Vita. You can have a guy You can have a guy starting opposite of Diaby and another guy sharing reps with Diaby. You can get a linebacker to start right away in front of Savasi Adens or right next to him. You can probably get a safety bigger than Winfield Jr. and Tyke Smith. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. You can keep telling yourself that it ain't that serious, but it is. A lot of talent. And Jason Light, he doesn't have a good track record. If the Bucs, look, if you look at everything about the Bucs right now, it literally screams rebuild. It does. Like, people don't want to admit it, but it screams rebuild because we're not contenders. We're not terrible, but we're good enough to be solid at best. That's our ceiling at best, solid at best. How the Bucs are set up right now with a coach on the hot seat, a GM on the hot seat, and a not so good roster, you're not winning anything big in 2026. Let me say that right now. And I know this might sound crazy, but as of right now, the Bucs are not going anywhere big in 2026. When I say big, I'm talking about NFC Championship or Super Bowl. They're not even close to that. So you got to ask yourself the question. The only way the Bucs can get to that point, once again, they have to make significant changes on the defense. They made changes on the staff, but that's not going to be enough. That's not going to be enough. Because you can change people on the staff, but if you still got the main core pieces, that has been the problem as far as position coaches, linebacker, outside linebacker, and your defensive coordinator. It's almost like it don't even matter who you draft because you still got the same issue with the coaching. We're talking about defense. And it sucks. It's sad. I don't want to see nobody lose their job, but it is sad to say that this is a make or break season for the Bucs. Make or break season for the Bucs or draft class. No more Emeka Egbukas. No more Kalasi Clancy's. No more Benjamin Morrison. That's over with. No part Buck boys. That is over with. No more O.J. Howard. No more Joe Tryon-Stoinka. No Logan Halls. That is no Kyle Trask type picks. No, none of that. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. No more. We're going to add another piece to the receiving room. You need to draft linebacker. I don't care about none of that other stuff. Care about none of that. No more, Washington Huskies. No, none. I don't care about none of that. Get the guy for the 5th straight draft class. Get the guy, Jason. Like, why are you making it so hard? Jesus freaking Christ, man. You keep trying to chase drafting outside linebackers and D linemen because you can't get right, and nobody wants to say nothing but Buckles locker. You've been terrible drafting defense, particularly in the front 7. You've been terrible or average at best. And every guy you picked in the front 7 the last couple years, it's always been a question behind it. Every guy he's drafted in the first round, it's been a question behind it. It's never been a surefire pick. Do the math. From 2021 to 2025, name me one pick in the first round. It was like, yup, he gonna be that guy. He gonna be really like that. Name me one. Name me one. Since 2021, this is the reason why this draft class is a make or break draft class. Because he's been drafting boo-boo or average at best. Even the Emeka Egbuka pick was like, what? You went into the season knowing you needed linebackers and you decided to draft a receiver. This is high insight, 2020 high insight. I get it. Omeka be fine. But you know good and goddamn well you needed defensive help and you decided to go with a receiver and 2 secondary pieces. That was not the best move. It probably should have been 3 front 7 players. First, second, and third round. I'm just saying, dog. And I know this is crazy to say this, but high insight. It's already past 2026. 2025 is past. The draft class is here. All I'm saying, just taking a look at that defense, they needed front 7 help. Bar none. Over Emeka Egbuka, Benjamin Morris, and Jacob Parrish. Just going back and looking at the defense. The problem is the front 7. It's not the second. Well, look, the secondary has problems. But if you got a really good front 7, that matters more than the secondary. It really does. Front 7 matters more than the secondary. If you can get to the quarterback, you affect his timing, his rhythm, his cadence. You know, the DBs can be in better position to get interceptions because the quarterback got to hurry his throws because of the pressure with the front 7. Your secondary will play a lot better when your front 7 is good. Go back and watch the film from last year, folks, and just ask yourself, the first 3 picks last year, they're here, and they're not going anywhere for the next 3 years. But look at the questions that we have now. Look at all the questions the Bucs community have. Oh, we need pass rushers. We need linebackers. You needed that last year. And you chose not to address that. Look, I rock with Emeka Egbuka. You know, Benjamin Morris, jury out. Jacob Parrish, he's nice. But that was not the needs. That was not the need. Now, the Emeka Egbuka pick has to hit. He can't be average. Because there were multiple defensive players that went after him that the Bucs should have drafted that played very well. Defensive Rookie of the Year, UCLA linebacker Carson Schlesinger. The Bucs had an opportunity to pick him in the first round. The Bucs said absolutely not, knowing they needed a linebacker. There was a couple other guys that went after Emeka Egbuka on the defensive side. And I'm sure you guys can go back and look at that draft. Go back and look at the Bucs draft. Look at pick 20. Look who got picked after Emeka Egbuka defensively. And tell me one of those guys wouldn't have been impactful on the Bucs defense. Jason Light and Todd Bowles went into the season and convinced themselves that the secondary was the issue. Think about that for a second. And all 3 of those first round, the first 3 picks last year, people tried to finagle it and make it sound all nice and good, and and dress it all up and convince themselves that we're gonna be straight. So unwise. And I didn't fall into the trap. I didn't fall because I was like, cool, Emeka Egbuka, all right, cool. The Benjamin Morris, man, okay, Jacob Parrish, 3rd round pick, okay, cool. But I never got caught up into they're gonna be game changers. Going into the draft, they were not labeled game changers. Neither, like all 3. No matter how much you could convince yourself and try to make it believe that they all 3 are game changers, only time will tell. But going into the draft and coming into the season, knowing what the Bucs needed last year, those 3 were not the picks, because now them same 3 picks last year in the first 3 rounds, Guess what the first 3 picks in the first round? Guess where the first 3 picks are going for this year's draft? Guess what the first 3 picks of this draft class going to be? Front 7. It should be front 7. There shouldn't be no running back, no receiver, no tight end, no offensive tackle, no guard, quarterback pick with any of these first 3 picks. But guess what? That should have been last year's draft class. Once again, chasing picks, man. We just keep doing this. Jason Licht has been terrible. He's chasing picks, man. And do y'all believe Jason Licht gonna make the right picks? Like after what you've seen, what he's done since 2021 draft class, do y'all believe he's gonna make the right picks? Honestly, ask yourself the question. Do y'all believe he's going to make the right picks? First round, second round, third round. We've seen him for the last few draft classes in the first 3 rounds. Every single pick has been a head scratcher. Has he drafted any of your guys that you wanted him to draft in the first 3 rounds since 2021? Since 2021, every time the Bucs pick in round 1, 2, and 3, what did you ask yourself? What did you tell yourself? Oh, he gonna get this guy. And what did he do? He go the other way. Trying to be cute in the first 3 rounds. Got the Bucs in this predicament. He has a track record of not doing well in the front 7 drafting. Don't give me the Elijah Clancy crap. I hope he turned out good. But this is what, year 3 for him? He got to do something. He's been hurt the first couple of years. Jason Licht keeps screwing the draft up, and Bucs media is not holding him accountable. And now the Bucs got to play catch up once again in another draft because they decided to get cute last year and the year before. They decided to say, oh, we need to get Emeka Egbuka. Once again, nothing against Emeka Egbuka personally. He's going to be fine. But I'm just saying, everybody's complaining about who or what when it comes to the Bucs. Defense. And the Bucs went offense in the first round. When you have Carson Swessinger sitting right there in the first round, defensive player of the year, linebacker, 6'5", 240, can rush the passer, cover, whatever you want him to do. Nick Umware, 6'3", 230 pound, 225 pound safety that you can line up at safety, strong safety, free safety, nickel linebacker, and he can even rush the passer. The Bucs said, absolutely not. We want Emeka Egbuka. So now the pressure is on Emeka Egbuka to be high-end talent because there are guys that was drafted after him on the defensive side that we are pounding the table for this year. Linebacker and edge and D-line. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, D-line. We're pounding the table for these picks, and we will pound the table in 2025, in 2024, in 2023, in 2022, in 2021. This is why I recommend going and tying in the Mike Evans situation with Emeka Egbuka. Mike Evans got to move. For Emeka Egbuka to shine and move up and to justify him picked in the first round when you needed defensive players, truth be told, Mike Evans needs to go. Because if he comes back, that's going to stunt the growth of Emeka Egbuka. You're paying Chris Godwin way too much money not to play. It's the truth. You're paying Chris Godwin way too much money not to play at all. He has to play, so Chris Godwin will be on the field. Whether you like it or not, whether he's washed or not, whether he's a wide receiver screen merchant or not, he's on the field week 1. $20+ million. Oh, he's on the field. And if Mike Evans come back for $20+ million, guess what? So that means you're going for one more ride. You're going to put stock in 2 receivers over 30 and up, $20+ million a year. When you got 3 young receivers behind those guys waiting to get more reps, you're going to put stock into 2 receivers that are on the downside of their career, rather than building up the roster defensively to mask the offensive inefficiency. What they call it? Reload and run it back. Oh, that's over with. Mopar Buck boys, over with. I don't want to hear Sugar Honey Iced Tea about running it back or reloading. The Bucs are not reloading nothing. Bigger 9, they ain't got nothing in the chamber. They got nothing. They are absolutely so far away from NFC Championship, Super Bowl contending team. They got way too many holes, and they're chasing draft picks. There is no reload running it back. It's either rebuild or shoot for the stars. Like the pyramids. Shoot for the stars. You have to shoot for the stars or rebuild. Bigger 9. He get the 4-5. Simplified. Shoot for the stars or rebuild. That's what it is. That's your 2 options. There is no in-between no more. He has no room, no leverage for an in-between season. 8-9, 9-8, 7-10. That's over with. The Bucs fans are getting way too impatient because we got Super Bowl, but now Bucs fans are like, okay, man, what are we doing here? $2020 and 2024, that's it for Jason Licht. That was his peak. And ever since then, it's been a middling franchise. And then don't even get me started on the Bucs report card. I'm going to do another video on that. This draft class has to be surefire, hit the ground running. You got some awkward contracts on that team. The only elite guy that you have on the team that is worth a damn, really, like teams will love to take Tristan Wirfs off of Jason Licht's hands. He will be the only guy that people would give up a first-round pick for. Truth be told, if the Bucs want to really get bold with it, let me get 2 first-round picks for Tristan Wirfs, and let me get a first-round pick this year, a third this year, and a first and a second next year. Somebody will do it. You can get 4 picks for Tristan Wirfs. I'm not saying trade him. I'm just telling you he's the only guy that teams would really give up draft capital for on the Bucs. The Bucs need talent. Plain and simple. I can care less about how you feel about Todd Bowles and Jason Licht, whether you like him or not. The Bucs need talent. And the only guy on the roster currently right now that is worth a damn as far as draft capital is Tristan Wirfs. Nobody else is worth a 3rd-round pick at the most. At the best, you can probably maybe get a 3rd from Winfield Jr. Maybe. A 4th round for Chris Godwin. Vita, 3rd, 4th rounder. Maybe. Luke Gadecki or Luke Gadecki, 3rd, 4th rounder. Like, you ain't got no high-end talent. You have no tradable pieces. So you can't go into the free agency and say, let's make some trades. You don't have that you don't even have that type of talent on the roster to say, all right, I want to trade okay, I got the 15 pick. I'm gonna give you the 15 pick and Chris Godwin to go up to pick number 9. You're gonna have to give a draft pick as well. You're gonna have to say, okay, you just can't straight up and say, okay, we'll give you our 1st-round pick and Chris Godwin for the 10th pick or the 8th pick. That ain't gonna be enough. That ain't gonna be enough. People think, for whatever reason, they look at the Bucs roster and they think the Bucs roster got this deep draft capital tradable type roster. What are you looking at? The roster's on the downside. I'm not giving up no. The only person I'm giving up real draft capital first or second round for is Tristan Wirfs. That's it. So for Jason Licht to try to wheel and deal some players on the roster for a higher pick or another player like Max Crosby, or some people talking about Trey Hendrickson. I don't know. Look, Max Crosby, cool. But you're going to have to give up multiple players or multiple picks because you don't have the guys on the roster to go in the top 10. You're going to have to give up an extra pick to get in the top 10. Meaning, I'll give you a scenario. The 15th pick in 2026 draft class, a player, and another pick in the 2027 draft class to go in the top 10. To go get Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese. That's your option. You can't just say straight up 15 pick and a player to go to the top 10 to go get one of those guys. Who? The Bucs have no leverage in making trades this year. Outside of Tristan Wirfs, they have no leverage at all. They can't even play the game. Due to Jason Light's poor draft classes and the lack of above average or elite talent. Look at the Bucs roster. It's a bottom 10, it's a bottom 12 roster, man. It's not, look, the Bucs roster is not 21, it's not 21 to 32. And it's not top 15, in my opinion. It's somewhere between 16 and 21, in my opinion. It really is. Because the reason why it's between 16 and 21 is because they're not good enough to do anything in the playoffs. Too many holes. And the coaching don't make sense. Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Caleb Banks, Jacob Rodriguez. I didn't see his name. What did he run in the 40? I didn't watch his run. David Bailey, Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker. Malachi Lawrence, who I like. I like Malachi Lawrence. You got Kyle Lewis from Pittsburgh, but no more of that. We don't need that. He might be better than Savasi Dennis, but who knows? So what? Jacob Rodriguez, what? 4.57? That's not bad. He has really good instincts. Need a guy like that. He's a dog. Keyword, dog. Way better than Savasi Dennis going into the draft. Watch what the Bucs do. They're not going to draft Jacob Rodriguez because he got an edge to him. I've been doing this for the last several years, folks. When I look at these players coming to the draft, I have spoken on several players in the last several years about who the Bucs should have drafted, and they did not do it. And guess what? That same player that they did not do is better than the guy that they drafted or has got this to their second contract or better. I've been doing this, folks. I know how the Bucs function. They never get the guy they're supposed to get. They go the opposite way. Oh, I know about Malachi Lawrence. I've been watching him since the Senior Bowl. He was one of the guys I mentioned in my other video. I do this, folks. I'm telling you. I need to be a scout. Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker. We need some linebackers. It's almost like the Bucs might need to draft 2 linebackers. And sign a veteran linebacker. Like, will we be able to get Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles and David Bailey? Would we be able to get a Malachi Lawrence or Anthony Hill Jr. or Caleb Banks or CJ Allen, yeah, or Jacob Rodriguez, the second tier. Can we get the second tier guys? Because I don't know about getting up that top tier, the David Bailey, the Sonny Styles, and the Orville Reese. People talk about Cashius Howell, but I don't know about that guy. Who cares about Braswell? Nobody's talking about Braswell for a reason. If Diaby would be a high-end pass rusher and Braswell turned out to be something and Logan Hall was something, we wouldn't be having these problems. Because now we're just building on depth. But no, Braswell has not been productive. Year number 3, he's not done. Going into year 3, he ain't worth a damn at this point. Maybe it's the coaching. Look at Logan Hall, the new William Golston. And for some strange reason, Jason Light gonna bring Logan Hall back like he's some freaking he really like that. And then y'all got Diaby 7 sacks, but I think that's his peak. He might get you a 10, but he needs a running mate. He's too stiff. We don't have no Nick Benito. Oh, the Jets and Titans traded. The Jets traded Jermaine Johnson. The Titans traded Trevonjay Sweat. Jermaine Johnson was a guy that I wanted the Bucs to get. He was a Pro Bowl player under Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh said, give me that guy. See, the Bucs ain't got nobody on the team to go get a Jermaine Johnson. I'm going to give you Vita for Jermaine Johnson. Bucs ain't got nobody like that. Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper, Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter. Like, how many times I got to keep running down these edges, and the Bucs have nobody on the team that's in the universe with those guys. I don't know if we're going to get any. I don't know if we're going to get any of the tier 1 talent. Zion Young, that's another guy I mentioned. It's another guy. I mentioned a couple other guys. You go back and watch my video. Go back and watch my video on the guys I mentioned on the radar. Some of y'all, Malachi Lawrence is one of them. Zion Young was another one. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Orville Reese and Sonny Styles or David Bailey. I don't know if we're going to. I don't think we're not even close enough to getting those guys because we're too far back. Once again, I told you, we're not terrible to be in the top. We're not terrible. We're not a terrible team for us to be in the top 10, and we're not good enough to be in the back end of the first round because we're not that good. I keep telling y'all, man. Boy, if we can get Orville Reese and Sonny Styles, oh my gosh. I seen Ruben Bain's numbers, 6'2", 270 pounds, 30-inch arms, 31-inch arms, short arms. But the tape says he's gonna be solid. I don't know if he's gonna be a high-end player, but will Ruben Bain be available at 15? Will Ruben Bain be available at 15 or Mesidor, the other pass rusher? He's a little older. He's like 25, but 24 going to 25. But would Ruben Bain be available at 15? But we just had somebody like that with Kalijah Clancy. Short T-Rex arms. Will Ruben Bain, is Ruben Bain going to go down to 15 because of his measurements? Trey Moore, Malachi Lawrence, like did Ruben Bain? I didn't watch. Like I said, I didn't watch the company. Did Ruben Bain run the 40? Did Mesidor run the 40? Malachi Lawrence was a problem at that Senior Bowl practice. I'm telling you, man. It's some good guys here, man. Tyreek Sapp, a little stiff there in the hips. Some boy, this linebacker class is pretty deep. This linebacker class, outside linebacker, inside linebacker, it's a lot of guys. How can the Bucs mess this up? I don't know. I got a feeling they'll mess it up. So much depth in the front seven. How can you not come away with two guys in the first 2 rounds? Keldrick Falk from Auburn. Would the Bucs be able to get David Bailey? Let me ask y'all this question: do the Bucs need to trade up into the top 10 to get one of those guys, or can they wait till 15? Will any one of those guys fall out of the top 10? Oh, if we draft a tight end, man, I'm gonna turn it off, man. I'm gonna turn that thing off so fast, man. I don't care about none of that. If they draft Sadiq, I'm gonna be like, turn the TV off. He don't value outside pass rushers. Okay, I bet you value their ass now. Mason Thomas. It's a lot of good guys, man. We need some dogs, bro. And all these dudes, go look at the film on some of these dudes are dogs on the field. These dudes do not play. I'm turning the TV off. I wanted the Bucs to get Brayton Frisk. Bucs said nope. Could have traded to get Jared Versey. Nope. Got to make something. If you want to get one of those guys, you're going to have to trade to get up there. If y'all don't believe he's falling down, if y'all don't believe none of those top guys coming out of the top 10, then guess what you got to do, Jason Light? You got to go get him. Oh, the Saints going to end up getting one of them. That's the great thing about it. The Saints going to end up getting one of those top tier guys. Like, oh, man. Yeah, Sadiq had a former interview with the Bucs. I'm like, oh, my God. They just don't get it. They just don't get it. The Saints is going to get one of those guys. Think about that. I think the Saints are picking, the Saints are picking 9? Remind me in the chat. What the Saints are picking at? The Saints are top 10, right? Or they like 11? Can somebody in the chat let me know before I wrap this up? Malachi Lawrence, straight dog in him. The Saints are picking 7. They're going to get one of those, and we're going to have to deal with that. Granderson, Chase Young, and one of those guys. Oh my gosh, man! This is why I say you can't be average. You got to be really good or really bad or just bad. So the Saints are picking 7th or 8th or 8th. I thought it was 7, 8. Which one? So the Saints gonna have the prime opportunity to get one of those top tier pass rushers. Or they might go get Jeremiah Love. Now we got to deal with Jeremiah Love and B. John Robinson. The Saints finally did a rebuild and they trending up. Peter Woods, Caleb Banks, replacing Vita. George Gums Jr. I seen him play a little bit. All these dudes got dog in them, man. Just watch the tape. David Bailey gets after it. Oh, the Falcons, they are a little bit, they in front of us. The Saints might get Jeremiah Love. Or they can go get Sonny Styles or Orville Reese or David Bailey. They're going to keep stockpiling picks. They got 2 good young tackles. They got their quarterback, obviously, right? Kamara getting old. Jeremiah Love might be right there for them to go pick. Or they say, you know what? We're going to get one of these edge rushers. We're going to keep building defensive linemen. We're going to keep building edge and defensive line. Now they got Granderson, who's not bad. And now they got Chase Young, who's finally figured it out. And then they go get one of the young pass rushers. Like, God dang. Or they go, matter of fact, they go get Orville Reese to replace, Sonny Styles to replace DeMario Davis. Yeah, the Falcons got a first round pick. My bad. Forgot about that. The Michael Penix thing. But I'm just saying, the Panthers got a first round pick, but the Saints can go get a Sonny Styles. Lee Hunter for the Texas Tech D lineman. He nice too. I like Lee Hunter. Texas Tech's defense was nice. Falcons don't have a first round pick. I don't know, man. Lee Hunter nice too, man. The Bucs gonna have to replace Vita at some point, and it's gonna be the draft to do it. Several guys can replace Vita or play next to him and then replace him. Because are you going to give Vita extension? Are you going to tie money up into a 30-year-old defensive a nose tackle? Well, you can go draft a young. This is what Jason Light has messed up at. We have nobody waiting for under the wings for Vita. Who's behind Vita that's going to be anything? Red Gaines? Greg Gaines? That's who our defensive tackle. And here's another problem. Oh, we can't get rid of Vita because if we get rid of Vita, the defense fall apart. That's a bad thing. That's bad. That's bad. If Vita is not on the field, your defense look like crap. That's bad. Zane Durant. Like, there's a lot of good players, man. Man, there's a lot of good players in this draft, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want to see no Joe Tryon type pick. I don't want to see no Cal Trask type pick. I don't want to see a Keyshawn Vaughn type pick. Logan Hall type pick. Chris Braswell type pick. Kyle Trask in the second round. Oh, our roster was good enough so we can pick a quarterback in the second round. A quarterback you didn't even give a shot to. So wasted damn pick and nobody said nothing about it. Knowing damn well Tom Brady's gonna haul all the snaps. And then when he gets the opportunity, you gonna get Baker Mayfield and give him the job. So we don't even know what Kyle Trask. I don't know if Kyle Trask is probably gonna end up ever being anything, but I'm just saying. Grayson Houghton, like too many good players, man. Too many good players. That Caleb Downs, like I don't know how we're gonna get any of those guys. I don't know. I'm gonna wrap this video up, man. A lot of question marks, man. I just want to drop a video, y'all, man, before I go to bed. I got to go get a nap in. Got to get in my sauna blanket. I got to recover. I don't know, man. Make or break draft and take Jason Light, man. It is what it is, though. Jason Light, Todd Bowles, you are on the hot seat, buddy. Your fault while the team is sitting the way they are right now. It's your fault. It's not the fans' fault. It's Jason Light, number one, Bowles, number two, or 1A, 1B. The reason why this team is middling around and not good enough they're not good enough to be elite in the playoffs, and they're not terrible enough to be top 5, top 10. That's a bad place to be in. With that being said, shouts out to all the Powers and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining this episode. We have reached the hour. Fire those cannons. Seize the day. Raise the flag. Hashtag no excuses. Hashtag what does your eyes tell you? Hashtag what are we doing? Hashtag what is this? Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag probability of a possibility. Hashtag don't get mad at me. I don't play the game. I just talk about it. Buckles like a signing out. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and maybe I'll see y'all Sunday. We'll see. Buckles like a signing out. I'm down.